So this is how we're going to make our photo montage of our last assignment. So I've renamed it Photo Montage JC for my initials. The height and width, it's up to you. If you're doing a vertical picture, then do 12 by 8, 12 by 8, right? 12, 8. I did mine width 12, height 8, which is pretty good. So that ends up being like a 16 by 24 print or an 8 by 12 print, which is pretty sweet. Okay? But, if you want to go a different size, that's cool too. All right, so we create it, and here we go. So I'm going to go File, Place, Embedded, and I've got all my pictures right here. Okay, so I am doing a Duke basketball picture, and I think what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to use one of the back pictures. Okay, and then I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. So it fills the space just a little bit. There we go. Click OK. All right. And then I'm going to start adding more pictures. So I'm going to go File, Place. And if my photographer did a good enough job, then she will get the credit. Okay, so I'm going to keep adding these. So I'm going to add a bunch of these in here. So this part takes a little bit of time. Not too long, but let's see here. I think I did that one. Not using that one. There we go. Place this one in there. Make that one a little bit bigger. Good. And we might have to move some of these around just a little bit later. And so let's see here. Keep it going. There we go. Very nice. So what I've created is a Duke basketball design for this one. And not only Duke, but my idol growing up, which was Bobby Hurley. So we've got that. Let's see here. All right, there we go. We'll place this one in there as well. Now, some of these you may or may not use depending on what else you've added. I'm missing my shooter one, so I kind of need that one. It's a game changer for me. All right, so here we go. Now I'm getting to the opposing team in here, as you can see by the sweet jersey. Place embedded. Let's see. Go to the next one. Excellent. So again, this is just basic process for this. Keep adding these, and then I've got just a few left, so we're getting there. But the most important thing later on is how to actually select these. Now, some of you are like, "Oh, this is easy. I know what I'm doing." Chances are you probably don't, because this just takes. It's kind of weird, but the way you select these is kind of important. So you don't want to just select just me like that. You want to select some more. So let's see. Let's go into my email here. There we go. There's the one that I want. Okay, so then we'll go back in here. Whoops, delete that. All right, so we'll go File, Place, and it should be, there we go, perfect. All right. And what I'm doing is I'm pressing the Option key or Alt, and then it pulls from the middle. Okay, so now I've got my layers here. I'm going to select all of them at the same time and then rasterize. That way you don't have to go into all of them. In fact, what I'm going to do here is I've got my bottom one, and then I'm going to grab this next picture here. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to change my feather probably to about, I don't know, maybe 20, 30. Let's try 30 for now. Okay, so we got this, and then I'm going to go select, shift, inverse, and now I've selected all of this, and then I'm going to press delete. Okay, and so now it's fitting in there a little bit better. And so now you see how it should line up perfectly. Okay, and if it doesn't, by just a little bit, then what I need to do is I got to go back in and use the eraser. Let's try that again. There. And then what I'm going to do is just erase around the edges. Whoops, I went too far. Okay, so I just erase around in here to clean this up. Okay, and so you can see how these two fit in nicely. Okay, then I'm going to go to the next picture here, this one. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select something like this. Okay, Command Shift Inverse, delete, Okay, now it's a little bit crooked, so that's okay. Let's grab this picture here, and I'm just going to move it just slightly so it fits better. Now, again, if you do this right and you don't move the camera one bit, you'll be in much better shape. Okay, when it's a little bit off, then you got to line everything up, and it's kind of a pain. So now I've got to go in here, and then I'm just going to erase this part there. And you can see like right in there, it's a little bit off. So then I might have to go in and clean that up just a little bit. So then I'll select that. Okay, and again, I might even have to rotate it just a hair. Okay, so pretty decent, but I'll come back and fix that just a little bit later. Okay, then I'll go into this picture here. Now, what do we have? Um, okay, so now again, I'm going to select this part. Okay, select inverse, and then delete. And so I've just got that. And so you can see now I've got an overlapping picture. And so I'm going to have to line that up a little bit better. And eventually I'm going to erase that part there. Okay, go back into my layers window, grab this one. All right, this one's a pretty good one. So I'm going to go, let's hide this layer, and then, okay, and then I go select, inverse, delete. Okay, now you can see how much is back there that I have to delete on this one. So again, I'll go back into that one later. Okay, then I go to this one here. Okay, so it's this picture. And again, I'm just going to select this part. Now some parts you're going to have to select right up to the edge, and some parts you're not. So we go select, inverse, and then delete. Okay, then I go into this picture. Again, select a portion like this, and it's up to you how much you end up selecting. Select inverse, delete, and so I'm using some shortcuts to select that a little bit better. And then I go into the next piece. All right, so there we go. And now again, I don't want to select right on it. Now, if some of you have like a shadow on there, you've got to get that selected too. Because if you have cast shadows going on and it looks like he doesn't have a shadow, then it's going to look like he's floating, and it's super weird. So you've got to add that extra piece in there for the shadows. Now, this one's done when it's completely overcast, so I kind of lucked out for that one. So um, again, I've got a bunch of layers going on here, so I'm probably going to have to move those later on. And then do this one here. All right. And then select, inverse, delete. Good. Whoa, 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 come back here. There we go. And then here's kind of my last one. Yeah, this is the winner right here. And so, whoops. Let's try that again. So I'm going to select this part. Okay, now again, you see the little shadow under there, so you don't want to just select just like that. And then I'm also going to select this part right there. And so we go select, inverse, delete. Okay, so now, right now, it looks awful, right? So I'm going to make this bigger and maybe zoom in just a hair, and then move it over a little bit. Maybe zoom out. All right, there we go. All right, so now we're in pretty good shape here. Okay, so now we go back into all of these. So now we got this picture. All right, so I've got this little section here that I need to erase. So no problem. Oops, got the wrong layer. Make sure you're on the right layer too. Press delete. Okay, so there's that. And so this one matches up pretty well, but now I've got to go in here. Actually move this over a little bit because this thing is, there we go. All right. Erase this little spot right there. And again, it's a little bit off, so I've got to go in here and clean that up just a little bit. Okay? And what I do a lot too is I can look at this and be like, all right, where's it screwing up? Okay, well, there's a little spot up there, so I'm going to use the eraser and then clean that part up. I might even go in here and touch that part up just a little bit. Okay? Then I go into this next layer, so that one's looking pretty good. Now I got this one. Again, let's erase this part. Get rid of all that stuff. And I always check this a couple of times so I can see how it lines up right. And I'll go in here, move this around just a hair so it's in the right spot. I might even have to rotate it and then move it back. Pretty good right there. Oh yeah, that one's good. And then I will go back in and erase some of these so I can check this off a little bit. Okay, so the tree's kind of moved a little bit. Not that big of a deal, so I'll just kind of make this smaller, go in through here, clean that up, clean that one up. So you can see how that fits pretty nicely now. That one's a little bit off, so I might have to clean that one up later just to touch it up. Now I go into the next layer. Again, I can touch this and check it out to see if it's right or not. So I have to clean that one up, move it over just a little bit. So now I go into this layer here, okay? So that one looks good, but you can see here, I gotta erase all of this, okay? So now, this one's looking better. All right, so far so good right there, okay? Then I go into this layer. This one's a beast. I'm not sure how much I even want to add this one in. So for this one, I may actually have to add to this here and select all of this. I'm not really that excited about selecting this one like this because I just know that the selection is going to be kind of tricky. And so I want to do it right. Alright, so I don't want to miss anything when I select this, because it's going to be weird when I cut it off. Alright, hold on here. Alright, so I've got all of that there selected. Pretty good. Okay, so then we'll see what happens here when I go select inverse. Command Shift Inverse Delete. Alright, so now I've got that. Now, stupid me, I think I got a little feather when I selected that thing. Maybe, maybe not. No, it looks alright. Okay, so then I just have to move this guy over just a little bit. Okay, pretty good. Okay, then the next one here, go into this layer. So you can see the process of how this works. Now this one, again, I have to line this one up just right here. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and erase some of this. And so now I've got to go in here, clean that up. Oop, I got to go back into this layer too. Erase some of that extra stuff here because we don't want that. Okay, and then you get the idea. So I'm gonna have to stop this video for right now to clean it up a little bit and stop because it's getting a little bit long. So you get the idea of how this is gonna work. I might even do a second video for this one to show you the final steps for this. All right, so that's part one of this, and I'll keep adding to it in a little bit. So good luck with this, and we'll see you in the next video.